Good morning. The other day I uploaded a video on how to set up um, included warranties. So you sell a product, there's an included warranty, and then it orchestrates a warranty entitlement and subscription management. So today I'm going to walk through a process called depot repair that shows, okay, now that I have that asset at my customer, I have an entitlement or a warranty that I may need to work with. What's one way that I can get that done? And how does that entitlement come into play when they call in for service? So there's a couple different ways in this set of functionality that's called service logistics. Service logistics is not a module, but a string of functionality that you can opt into that uses different parts of the system. And as you can see here on the screen, we're going to start with service, and we're going to create a service request. We're going to do a depot repair, which will return the product back to stock. We'll do a maintenance work order, and we'll ship it out again, and we'll show how entitlements come into play in the service part of this. Now, I'm also have another environment up, and I will slide some screenshots over for you, actually the live screens that show some of the options that you can put into service to help this flow depending on your needs or your client's needs. And the stuff that I'll be showing is all done in Apps Composer. That's all part of out of the box. And so with that preface, let's get started. So I'm logged in as a service rep, and a call comes in from a customer. And so I'm going to go ahead and create a service request for them. So I'm just going to be, hey, we need to go inspect and repair this item. The customer is Steel Fitness. And I'm going to collect my contacts so we know who to talk to. And this is for repair. And I've actually saved off his asset number here. This is one of the things that's kind of annoying that we've asked development to fix, is that we should be able to put in an item or a serial number or something like that and trigger off of it rather than having to know the asset number. But when I bring in the asset number, it brings in the asset serial number, it gives an idea of what it is. And so then we're gonna, and down here, I can put in anything that I can tell the service reps of what might be going wrong. So we'll put in something here very simply so that they know what's happening. And so we're going to save and continue. Now on this next screen, you can see it gives me some information here, and I have all these tabs on the left. First off, everything on this screen can be adjusted, moved around, added to, augmented through Apps Composer. And the same is true for the tabs that you have over here. So as an example, I'm going to slide over. This is an example of something that I've done in the past, where I've added some items over here like subscriptions and agreements. We've added in a verify entitlement. So, hey, is there an active warranty on this, etc. So the way this verify entitlement works is it'll actually go out to subscriptions based on the asset number, serial number, and look to see if there's actually an entitlement out there. And right now in this system, no, they don't have an entitlement in force. So with that, so there's no warranty, there's no extended warranty on this. So I can come over here to the subscription tab that we created. When I click on this, it'll bring up all the subscription information related to this particular customer. Now, this customer has subscriptions that deal with maybe warranty on product they've bought from me, or maybe subscriptions to services that I'm providing for them. And so all of these will show here. So if I click on active subscriptions, I can go down. Looks like they have some IoT devices. They have some other types of subscriptions, and I can check and see what's going on with this. And in addition to this, we've also added over here this create subscription button. So your sales rep at this point has the opportunity to Maybe upsell the client, sell them an extended warranty because, hey, it's out of warranty, right? So gives them some opportunity. So these are all things that you can do in sales and service. I guess it's now just called B2B sales. With Apps Composer, you can do a lot of different things on these screens. So with that, I'm going to slide this back over here out of the way. And we're going to move on with what we're talking about. So at this point, services come in, and now I have to tell it what I'm going to do. You can also change the names of these if it makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and push the button here. It's going to be a depot return. It's going to be a fit 5000. It brings in the asset number from the previous page. This is coming into my National Depot Repair Center. And this is DOPREP. Return from address is my customer address in Washington. There's my sub inventory. 930. Get my sub inventory here. Now, if I want to put in a source organization, I can do that here as well. It's this. I'm going to put a need by date a week from now. Steel Fitness. And it's their Seattle address, etc. So this also has to be 930. And this is going to be from Depot Repair. Come on, be nice to me. There it is. And so I'm going to add this. Now we can do advanced returns, means that it showed up, and then I can do a reship. So I can do this in any order. It's just in this case, you know, they called us up. We're authorizing this return. Here's my SR number, which I'm going to note because we'll need that going down the road. SR 281475. And then with this, we're going to go ahead and create an order. Now, when I say this is a collection of functionality, sales and services of product, it's now going out to order management, it's creating an order. I'll be able to bring that in through inventory management as a simple receipt. And then I can go ahead and create a maintenance work order for this. Customer order is 98429, etc. And so then when the product comes in to be maintained, it'll use a subscription that's associated with this repair. And again, on the screen, this is standard out of the box. I don't have the subscription button on here, but I could check the subscription and see what the entitlements are. So with that, the next step is to go into service logistics screens and start bringing this in, receive it, fix it, and ship it out. So, but before we go over into service logistics, I want to take a minute and show you that, remember, service logistics is, or service logistics workbench, I should say. So before we go over there, remember, service logistics is a collection of functionalities that have been put together in a way that allows us to do these as one process flow. So we're here in service, and you'll notice that when we created the order, it creates a customer order to track what's happening through this, and so that we can build a customer appropriately. So I want to hop over into that customer order real quick before we move forward. So I am in a search here. I'm with Steel, my customer, and here's that order number 98429. And we'll refer back to this a couple of times. You'll notice that the source That popped over too quick. Let me go back. You notice the source is our SR number, and the SR number links everything together through this process. This is the RMA number. This will be the maintenance work order number. This is the source order. So the SR number is what ties everything together. So when we look at this, you'll see that I have a receiving and a shipping, because they're going to send me the part back. I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to ship it back out again. Okay, so now let's go over into the service logistic workbench. So I'm here now with Roma. She's a service logistics user. And so remember, service logistics you have to opt into, and then you'll have this icon here to get into the workbench. So again, like most things in Oracle, we have all the different infolets here, but we're going to go into what's called the depot repair, which is actually a workbench. Yeah, sorry about that glitch there, guys. Anyway, so this is the workbench. This is where we're going to see items that have been received. We're going to see the maintenance status of them, and we're going to see whether they've been shipped out again. But again, what I want to show you here real quick is that we can also add through App Composer and through OTBI and stuff, functionality here that can help us out. So again, sliding over another environment here, you'll notice that we have this service history report here. And what this is a report that we've created so that we can manage certain things. So we can see, these are just for maintenance. It gives a maintenance history, etc., of what's going on. But it just is a way to enhance the usability of what's going on for your users, so they can see the information that they need. So we'll pop that back over here out of the way. So what we need to do next is we're going to go ahead and receive this item into our warehouse. So the customer shipped it to us. We do that by going into just inventory management, right? And we'll see here that we have a receipt set up. So when I created the line items in service, it created a receipt transaction that had to happen, and it created a shipping transaction for the SR. So we'll go ahead and log into this or go into this receipt. Again, this is my SR number. This is what ties everything together. So I'm going to highlight this, receive it, standard receiving process. And this is an install-based asset. So what this is doing is also going to be changing the location of that asset from the customer's location to our warehouse location. So again, so we can track what's going on with these assets. I'm going to bring it into depot repair sub-inventory location. And you'll notice it knows it's serialized. And so I think this is, I have the serial number over here. It's going to mess up a little bit until I get it fixed. There we go. There's our serial number, which is, and it's going into national depot repair location. There we go. Fix that serial number. There we go. There's our to from serial number. Again, our SR number is over here. So we're just going to go ahead and create that receipt and bring that into stock. Now, once we bring it into stock, there's a background process that needs to be run that's called send receipt confirmation. And this is a process that probably should be running in the background in your production systems. depending on how many RMAs you get, something that can be run very frequently or even on a daily basis, just depending on what the frequency of your receipts are, or your RMAs, I should say. Send receipt connection. Okay. Org is 9:30. Source system issues and orchestration and planning. I'm going to go ahead and submit that. Okay, so that process is finished. So the next step is we're going to go back into the depot repair workbench in service logistics. And we'll go over here and manage depot repair. And then we'll search on, we can search on a number of things. We'll just search on the FIT 5000, see what's out here. And so we have a couple SRs. This one has already been finished out and closed. It's for a different item that came in. So again, I want you to see that the SR number becomes the key to everything through this process. So here's the one that was delivered. The next step is that we have to set up a maintenance work order for it. So we do that by clicking on this repair button right here. And so we'll go ahead and highlight it, click repair. This is going to be a corrective work order. It's let's see, it's reactive. This is fix customer asset status. Now, it doesn't allow us yet in the system to release this from here. So I'm going to send it over to maintenance in an unreleased fashion. I'm going to say it's due next week. And the work definition is, you can set up various work definitions, whatever's available in maintenance. I think this is called depot repair, honestly. And of course, you can search on, you can set up inspection work orders or maintenance work orders, I should say, maintenance work definitions. You can do whatever is appropriate for your situation, but we just have a basic one here for. So we'll save and close that. Again, it's got my install base asset number up here, my serial number, and again, the SR number becomes the work order number. So there we go. It's unreleased. So the next step is actually go into maintenance. Real quickly, we go into supply chain execution. We'll go into maintenance. We're going to have to first release this maintenance work order by going into manage maintenance work orders down here. Here's my work order number. And again, these can be as sophisticated as you wish in maintenance. We can do release material, et cetera. We're just going to go ahead and release this work order to be worked on. It's now released. So now we're going to go into dispatch and finish out the work order. View dispatch list. So here's my work order. We're going to complete with details. Now, this is going to be a little bit different on an install-based asset or where you're actually tracking subcomponents and things. When we bring them into install base, so I'm just going to click next. I'm not putting any notes or anything in here. You can set up a hierarchy. And so you can have swappable components or, you know, all those cool things that you can do in maintenance. You'll be able to see here. So we're going to be swapping out this this ECM component. So I've got to go pick a new one out of stock, grab its serial number, gives me a new asset number for it. So I'm just doing one. Next, I'm going to put down whatever labor is associated with this. So the resources, these have been set up. If you remember back in the first video, we set up resources and things. And these are going to link out to the subscription to determine how we're going to build this, what kind of discount they get based on this. So this is just depot labor. And you can actually, is that right? Activity. Again, we can set up activities. And we're going to say 1.75 hours to do this. We can put codes out here. I don't know that we've set up any in here. There's a few codes out here. Search does not contain. This is my favorite way to search. Oops. That wasn't my favorite way to search. But I say does not contain and then put some character out there. I'm going to take this off and start over. It should be depot labor. I thought I had an instance for that. Anyway, repair 1.75. Okay, we're going to save and close this. And it's going to come back and tell me, in this case, hey, we finished out the work order and scheduled complete. So when the maintenance is done, so as a service logistics person, I can see all this information on my workbench. So I can sort this by customer, I can sort it by item, even asset number, RMA, all those kind of things. And so I can always track what's going on with my orders. Have they been received? Are they waiting shipping? Are they closed out? In this case, I can see that the work order's been assigned, that it is complete. It's sitting in depot repair inventory, and at this point, we're waiting to ship this back out to the customer. So now that we've finished the maintenance work order, the next step is to go out and actually create the invoicing and post the charges off so that the invoice can be created. Okay, so to do that, we're in the service logistics workbench again. We're going to come over to our depot repair workbench. We're going to go look for our item. And here we go. So right now we're going to click into our RMA line hyperlink. And this is going to bring up some information about this particular work order. You can see the work order is completed here in this line. You can see the service request as it came in. And so the next thing we want to do is go into charges. If there were any parts that were dealt with this, we can see them here, any expenses that come in, etc. So the first thing we do is create charges. So what create charges is going to do is go out there and collect all the purchase order costs, work order costs, all those kinds of things, and bring them in here so that we can review them before we bill them. So if we look at charges, you can see now that it's brought in the part that we associated with it, the ECN 3001, and it's brought in the labor at 1.75 hours. And if you look at the amounts, you'll notice that it's going to give an adjustment based on the silver coverage that was in the subscription, again from video one. So that's what those are used for. They come in. So on this warranty, we're going to earn $122.50. I believe there's probably some kind of a discount on the labor as well, 20% discount, because remember this item was out of warranty. So at this point, now that we've created the charges, we're going to post the charges, and this updates everything over onto the customer order. So we can see that it's updated our original order number. So we can go over to that original order and take a look. So here we're back over into order management. This is our order number. So let's open this up and take a look at it. So you can see that it's created a couple additional lines down here. Before we had just the RMA and the shipping, but now we have these, now we have two additional lines for the part that had to be replaced and the labor to replace it. So now the next step is to ship the product out and then import all this into AR using import auto invoice and bill the customer. So there you have it. In video one, we have all the setup for the warranties and the entitlements using subscription management. For those entitlements, we saw how we put an existing warranty onto an item. Now over here, we've shown how we can bring that item back in through a service request. We can do maintenance on it and bill the charges as appropriate and then send it back out to the customer.